Eyes closed and dreams go free. Got an angel next to me. Hold me close so I can breathe. Let me go so I can live. Where do we go from here? Take me far away.
Namaste and like catch my family, and welcome to another amazing broadcast with your hostess with the mostest. Name's Rion. What it is, ladies and gents across the planet. If you're new, say hello to Grow. I thought this was appropriate, for this is the way forward. It's trusting thyself and innerstanding of the shenanigans going on. But first and foremost, how's everyone across planet Earth doing out there today? It's Friday, sneaky cack. What up, what up? What up, playa? What up? I got lots to share, a lot of downloads. Hey, did we all make it? Did we all make it through this shenanigans? Blood moon, red moon, bye-bye moon. I don't want to see another full moon ever. I feel like I'm on Endor and there's two moons, you know what I mean? I wake up, I don't know how many times I've woken up and like stared out my window and I just see the full moon just staring at me. Like, hey, were you having weird dreams? I might have had something to do with that, okay? Enough with the weird dreams and the goodness gracious. You guys holding in out there? 11/11, happy 11/11 portal. We're going through a portal. We're doing things. I got a lot of content. Hello to all my new family out there. Maybe just shared a video to your mom or your dad and you're like, hey, watch this guy. I'm trustworthy. I have integrity. And I speak my truth. My truth! That is something that many of us need to understand and remember. Speaking your truth. What it is, what it is. Fire. Let's go. Let's go. You know, the moon's not even from here, but whatever. Can somebody fix the engine on that thing and get it out of here? Let's have a replacement. Maybe we should like sign a petition for like, okay, I get the tides and everything. Like, can we have like a different moon? Like, why are we stuck with the same boo-boo moon that's like broken down? Like, can we like request from the Galactic Federation, hey, this moon's really cool. Can we have a new one? This one kind of sucks. Okay. I mean, if we're all, you know, yo. The thing about the full moon that I always found weird was, you know, everyone kind of goes crazy on a full moon. Well, here's my thing. I was like, the full moon is just the sun or light or energy reflecting off a surface that we can see in the sky. So again, I always ask myself, what type of weirdos and poo-poo energy is inside the moon that every time the light hits it, we just get refracted a bunch of poor decisions, huh? All right, moving on. Just thought I'd seed your consciousness with that one in this morning comedy special. We made it through the blood moon of never gonna write a postcard about it. All right, moving on. All right, political system over here. You know, it's a shenanigans. Maricopa County. I'm in Arizona. The sheriff showed up on Tuesday during that thing. I wonder what type of voting machines they're gonna seize. Moving on. Total reflection. Let's go. You know, total reflection of what? I want to reflect glory, freedom, and peace. I don't know what kind of piecemeal shenanigans they got going on up there, but that's what happens when you're born in a lower gravity. Your body doesn't have to work as hard. Just kidding. If you're born in space, you can't come back to Earth. The gravity will collapse you. I was like, wonder why all these weirdos wear spacesuits. Moving on. All right, for all of us organic beings that are on the surface that are stronger than all these guys that pretend they're strong, welcome to the show, okay? Pushing 600 pounds in 1G. Let's go. You pick up a Mars guy like a piece of popcorn. You're like, oh, you're a big deal? You know? Good evening, Barry, wherever you are. You know I'm talking to you. So what else? I've been dealing and talking to a lot of these guys behind the scenes. And, I don't know, man. Some of us are working on our Galactic emissary skill sets. Every single time I've been making so much awesome stuff for you guys. Get ready. Like, I'm in a trance. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm making like Starship. Like, I'm making like things that don't belong here. I'm like, wait till you see these two Super 7s I'm about to pop out. Yeah, and for my family out there that are getting these, get ready. I don't even know. I'm making some full-blown Atlantean tech. You guys are going to love it. Probably take over the entire territory you put it up in. Moving on. So, yeah, you know, those Atlantean Lemurian downloads are flowing through me. The stones, crystals, witch stones and crystals. One of my specialties before this incarnation, off-world, was I was an expert in force field technology. There was some I remember mining, I remember the gnarliest thing to ever do was to mine a dying star. And because of the elements you can get from it, but it's very, very hazardous, very dangerous job. But I remember that in one of my past lives. I don't know if it's a future life. I don't know. I mean, I'm 15 feet tall. I got 4 fingers. But whatever version that guy is, he wears the robe. Greetings to you. As I bypass the entire veil and broadcast into this popsicle suit on this live 11/11 portal. We're in a portal. All right. So some of us are on the other side of the veil. It's awesome. Come join us. You guys are seeing all the shenanigans in every single country. I want you guys to know that we're here with you. No, we're not dumb. No, we're not scared. And we're just waiting for the rest of the population to wake up. So, you know, let's go, let's go, let's go. You know, vote in Maricopa, not feel. Hey. Yeah, you know what? Sedona, we voted for a new mayor. I don't know what happened there. You know who? I don't want to bring it up, but you know who should have won and who should have gone back to the whatever that was, the feeding trough. Moving on. You know. What else? Oh my God, you guys got to see the new logos for the Lightmare. Oh no, you did it. You actually did it. We're in the process of finalizing. I'm just gonna, dude. I have like Warrior Angel, 6 wings, Lightmare, and just leaning on you. Like I don't know. I'm so excited to get some new gear. We're still working on the hats. We have new hoodies and we have sweatpants. So everyone's gonna have their workout gear. I'm gonna make like you're gonna have the hoodie. I mean the if you want the hoodie or you want the normal sweatshirt, and then we'll have sweats. So it'll be like a combo. We're working on different brands with the different sizes. You know how this is when you order stuff. I have to try everything on. Okay, this is large. This is extra large. And then sometimes it's too small. And I know the ladies like the small. Some ladies like the medium. I just want to make sure everything fits. And then we have to test them and wash them. You know what I mean? We do like a full testing over here. We're like, well, how much do they shrink when you wash them? You know? So we're going to make sure you guys get the freshest gear. We're working on all the logos and all the sigils to put on there for protection. That's fire. I'm really excited. Our whole front of our house is just boxes and boxes of clothes. Right, Gro? Financial news. Iraq's government's like sat. CBI could release this thing at any time. What are they waiting for? Well, goodness gracious. There's a lot of different timing. What I'm getting to at the end of the day is like this decision is coming down from like a quantum level of when is the most optimum time when everyone's not paying attention. Similar to the dead cat bounce of the crypto. You know, everyone thought it was going to happen a month and a half, 2 months ago. It happened 3 days ago. You know, crypto's down like, I don't know, 20, 30%. Bitcoin's like 16K. It's going to keep going down, by the way. But here's the thing. We need to find a floor. Then we all buy in. So it's good. It's not a bad thing. You know, if you guys are trying to transfer things over, I still think the crypto market will keep going down until it hits a certain level. Then it's going to go to the moon. Pay attention to XRP and XLM. You can get XLM for like 9 cents right now. Waiting for it to go to 6. Okay. If you guys know about this new system that these guys are working on behind the scenes, the XRP and XLM is part of the infrastructure of that. Okay. Not to promote any token. I'm just trying to say pay attention to the infrastructure of how things are going to lay out financially in the future. That's all. The SWIFT system is toast. The old way how you send a wire, you send it SWIFT and it takes 3 days. That's toast. You'll have your money in like 13 seconds. What else is cool? Oh, goodness gracious. There's so much information. Okay, so what do we see happening? I see Arizona going red. What else do I see? I do not know how Newsom one California, it's absolutely BS. I mean, that guy is just a treasure trove of poor decisions. You know, his stepmom or mom or aunt or whatever that is, that whole thing's going to collapse. The guy looks like he deserves. He looks like he should be just playing beach volleyball, not leading the state of California. Just be real. He looks like a great guy with a beer, laying on the beach playing volleyball. That's all I see from that guy. What else? Shrine brine. That thing's collapsing. What else is going on as I lean to the left? The system is eating itself, and they already have like 3 or 4, 7 singers over there on that dark side that have already given up 80% of their program. So it's just an opportune time to reconsolidate what they will be left with. Okay. They have me negotiating both sides of this transition to make it as graceful as possible. I don't know who or what we really are. What I can say is that I'm having high-level conversations about high-level people on this planet 24 hours a day and negotiating terms between both sides. Yeah. That's what some of us are doing behind the scenes every day. So it's not like, oh, my house and this and that. I'm like in meetings with like governments, and I'm like staring at these people and I'm scanning them, and I'm like, what are you going to bring forth in this creation? Like, one of the gnarliest questions I've been saying a lot and hearing my guide say is, what are you bringing forth in this creation, and what experience are you creating, or do you have to share? See, when you start speaking of purpose on this planet, all of the copycats have nothing to say. You got to come original. What are you bringing here? What are you creating here? There's a higher level of questioning that's coming down the pipeline. What have you created in your life? What have you shared with others in your life? What are you going to create? What are you going to share? What is your creation? So, that's, muy importante. Nanish! And might have another delivery. Let's see.
Hey, I feel like 6 boxes for you that I left down by the garage because they're pretty big. Is that okay? All right, perfect. Can you sign?
I know what those are. More cloves just showed up. Have a good day. Have a good day. What's up to all my homies out there in Australia, New Zealand? Love you. Don't worry about it. We have to shift stuff over here in the States, and it's going to be country to country. It's going to go off, okay? What else? Fire. Limer hoodies. It's fire. What else? Okay, let's get back in the channeling of what's going on behind the scenes 3 floors up. Okay, so what are the main terms? Let's just take them upstairs with us and actually see what we actually discuss upstairs, shall we? You want to try this? All right, let's see what these little nerds in circles actually talk about behind scenes. It has to do with the population. It has to do with different districts. It has to do with the release of technology. And it has to do with future timelines of which of these little areas are marching in what direction. Okay? So based upon your soul family, based upon what you decided to be a part of when you got here, it's being a lot more stringent on making a choice. You're not allowed to sit and pretend. You have to make a decision. You have to choose whatever side that is. Now, obviously, I've told you many, many times, I've chosen the light. However, when I took on this job recently to assist in negotiating these terms, I said, I'm not making any promises. Tell the whole planet exactly what I said. I said, I will do my best to try and smooth some of these edges that we have going on down here. A lot of this stuff is from thousands of years ago. It's weird. It's like proxy wars from off-world, how it's implemented here. Yes, it has to do with some of the Greys. Yes, it has to do with the reptilians. Yes, it has to do with some of the floods. Yes, it has to do with the old Sumerian gods coming back. Yes, it has to do with the Galactic Federation and some of their plays. So yes, here we go. Oh, here come all the cables. Hey, all right, let's talk about it. Here's the thing. This is what I say to all my aspects. Okay? And I want to share this with you in a way that we can all understand together in this little private huddle, okay? I embrace all that is me. I see the strengths of all the different species and dimensionally and in the physical of this planet. The homeostasis and blending and balancing of this sort of polarity game is something that is very interesting to watch, less interesting to be a part of if that balance is not found. So, what are you doing every day you're here? You are balancing thine self. Okay? I've had high-level dragon conversations about my dude and how I saw him kick ass in Glacier Mountain. I saw him put the sword down, put a robe on, and start talking and doing something he doesn't normally do. I have different aspects of myself leveling up dimensionally. I don't even have a 4D right now. I am my 4D, which is strange. My 4D is in the 6th dimension. He already made the jump. I have other beings down here that are running the 4th dimension, and they look at me like, wow, so this is your lower self in this meeting. And I'm like, hey, dude, like, I'm here to say at some point you have to realize or understand that being a part of everything is far greater and more powerful than just being part of one polarity. Someone who's a part of all polarities, hence unity consciousness, hence 6th density understanding or innerstanding, is always going to supersede what's going on here in the lower levels. There are specific choices each of us need to make it easier on our vessels to attain that sort of enlightenment. Your food, your water, your air, your daily routine, your workout routine, your sun charging, your meditation, trying to have positive thoughts go through your head. I caught myself in a negative loop saying negative things over and over and over again to myself, and I realized I'm a very powerful manifester. Stop saying these things. You will actually manifest it to come. I am a manifester. I manifest my reality every single day. I'm sharing this with you so when you get that loop or that thought going through your head like a broken VCR, once you hear it the 3rd time, you got to stop whatever you're doing, take a pause, light some sage, and go, hey, I'm part of a loop right now. I'm looping. You have to catch yourself in the loop. Okay? Some people loop for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Okay? You can be 7 years old and still caught in a loop from when you were 32 years old or 19 years old. You know, you could be 85 years old, 90 years old, and you're still in a loop. You're 19 years old getting off a boat on D-Day, and you spend 20 minutes a day thinking about it. Get off the loop. The loop is the easiest way to keep a civilization, a people, a population under some sort of unconscious spell, because you're not spending that 20 minutes every day manifesting your new reality or your prosperity or your freedom or your new creations. You are stuck in the past, reliving a memory. Clearing these things is what this portal and what these blood moons were all about for me personally. And I think that for all of us, you got to witness a lot of weird stuff in our dream time, maybe amongst our friends and family, to understand that we saw this as a lesson plan of what we need to adjust to actually step out of this shadow and back into the light fully. It was a spell. So some of us, we process the spell, but I'm just telling you, it's a spell. You were shown your loops. Could be insecurities. Could be stuff that happened when you were a little kid. Could be stuff from friends and family around you. Could be how you were treated. Could be how maybe you speaking your truth. You were shown these loops in this last gateway. Now it's time to get your pen and paper out, write what works and what doesn't work for you, do a soul clearing contract, right? Or soul agreement contract. If you guys need help with that, go to store.teamlight.com, click on sessions, scroll down. There are 3 free digital downloads for you guys. One's how to write a soul agreement. Right? One's my multidimensional template, and one's like session notes of like the smoothies I drink and all that jazz. What I'm saying is it's free. Just do it. You were shown your loops because the spell is breaking on your entire collective consciousness of this planet. When the spell breaks, you're going to find out who you really are. That's all. Like, that's all. You know, that's all. You're gonna find out who you really are. You know? So, something like that. But it's so difficult to be down here. Like, oh my God, it's like so confusing. You're like, how many loops are you running? How many apps are open on your chemical computer? You're like 35. You're like, close all the apps and then ask the same question again. You know, these little things that hide in between dimensions, you want to call them demons, you want to call them little tuds, you want to call them things left over from the flood or this past angelic war or whatever. Check it. We're negotiating terms for the families of beings. Everyone's worried about the Euphrates River and these angels coming out of the ground. Listen, did the giant of Kandahar, when he took a 50 cal round to the face, were you worried about it? I wouldn't be. Moving on. Unless you guys have beings coming out of the ground that can dodge ethereal bullets. So just calm down with all this weird, it almost sounds paganism, just weird stories. Listen, the armament and technology that we have these days is completely different. You have a 100-foot angel, dark angel pop out of the ground, 6 Hellfire missiles would drop that thing in 30 seconds. That's not what this is about. Okay, so stop with I'm watching these videos and like, you won't believe it on the Euphrates. I'm like, okay, everyone calm down. Okay, we literally had ET show up on this planet to have us stop using nukes. Okay, there's a reason for that. Okay, moving on. These stories are tales of time to unwind the collective consciousness of past things that have been buried and hidden. The past versions of who we really are. Maybe our parents, are divorced. Maybe we get 2 Christmases. Maybe you get 2 birthdays, whatever this is. So instead of working together and being cohabitating parents, they vie over your energy because they want you to love them more than the other or turn away from the other. This is still a family environment. We are galactic beings in a family hug, figuring out who and what we truly want to be. All of these stories fall apart when you get into a higher dimensional understanding of who your aspects really are, why you're here, what you're working on. And maybe in the past incarnations, it took you 7 incarnations to finally have a relationship with one of your aspects that's been very grumpy. Let's just say I got a lot of grumpy aspects on my stream. However, when I put their shoes on and I wear their energy faces and I'm downstairs and I'm walking through the hallway and I feel 15 feet tall and my shoulder blades are slamming on the hallway and I'm have my 80s music on and I'm making crystal towers and I'm making magic for you guys, they have fun. They get to actually jump into the physical and go, wow, you really do like to make these crystal contraptions. I'm like, they're rad. Check it out. If I hit it with enough frequency, the plasma field jumps 30 feet. Isn't that cool? Like, I had to find something that all my aspects enjoyed doing. So as you are meditating, as you are practicing, as you are becoming your true self, most beings will get into the fear mode because your neural processor cannot take the data load. So you will fall into a place of, I have to believe in this, or I have to believe in this, or my whole world falls apart. That is part of the growing process. You pick yourself up, you go on the mountain, you try again. You go on a different mountain or temple in a different country, you try again. You keep trying until you find that right moment where you are respected amongst your higher selves as you show them the same love and respect. The one thing I can share about that's true on this planet is this: respect. Respect where you come from, respect who your true parents are, whoever that may be, respect the different aspects of your DNA. Yes, on the higher levels, some of them don't get along, but I'm here to express something to you too. We are fighting about a family situation that took place, and whoever the guardians were at that point in time let all the kids come to the candy store, Earth. But they did not say they could leave. So what have we created here? I don't know, the planet of X-Men. We created a planet of where all the genetic diversity of the universe is in this one planet in the multiverse. And we have the ability, once we combine everything, those beings which accomplish that feat will become some of the most powerful beings in the entire universe. And you are in that school right now. So, in college, oh Sting, we know you got knighted, but I still like you. You know, like I've been asking about some of these singers from the 80s, like Peter Gabriel and Sting, and I'm like, can I like, I know they joined the naughty team, but like, can I get them out? I'm like, it's Sting, and they're like, we'll like, I'm going after, like, I'm listening to music in a different consciousness, and I'm literally staring at the guy in the 80s or the girl sing the song in the studio, and I'm hearing the voice, like, I don't know, I'm like time jumping and time skipping, practicing with, I'm hearing you in the studio create the song, and then I'm inside your mind of what you were thinking about and the contract you signed. Like, I don't know. I'm only jumping back to the 80s. But I told you our jumping capabilities of what we're allowed to adjust is, you said 400 years, correct? I don't have any music from 300 or 400 years ago. But if anyone can find the earliest recordings, we could also take a look at what really happened. Bum, 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 bum. If all time is happening, that's right, big boy. I don't know. They got beings over here. They're like, sir. And I'm like, listen. I don't. It's already enough. You know what I mean? Like, see, I'm wearing my inner child on me, so you understand I'm not the guy I was 10,000 years ago. Okay? You're one of my, you know, I know one of my dudes is like one of the gnarliest, and I'm like, listen, let me talk to him. That's something you're also going to understand. If you got some really crazy higher selves, they're not going to listen to other species. Like, well, we're the head of the Lyran order, and we're going to tell you how it works. And, like, your dragon's going to go like, I'm not even from this universe, Dingleberry. I'm not listening to one word that comes out of your little hairy mouth. So what happens is you're down here as a step kid, both DNA from both parents. So I start doing this. Hey. What do you want? Got it. What do you want? Got it. I process it through my heart and I go, okay, understand everyone's trying to vie for this and this. How do we find a compromise and come together and have the most grace? How do we generate the most grace? That grace is from our Creator. How do we create grace? Okay. You know, that's something I want you, you know. Dude, I got to watch out dubstep. They only let me listen to dubstep in the gym. I have a couple of songs. I wish I could. I probably could. There's that one song. You don't own me. It's like a remix. And then like the beat hits like you don't. Like I don't know what happens. It's so much light shoots out of my body. I use it whenever I'm doing like 600. I'm like, it's like electricity fires out of me. But again, I'm not allowed to listen to that to dubstep when at least I'm not in the gym or on activations. They won't let me listen to it. So it's too fast for the collect. It's like it's really weird. It's like all of a sudden you like explode who you really are, and it's like you just start. Your speed is so much faster than everything around you. They're like, hey, calm down. So at least that's for me. I don't know if there's other planetary guardians out there that are allowed to listen to dubstep. I'm not. Okay. Thought I'd make that clear for everyone in the audience. I am not allowed unless I'm working out or if we're cleaning up some Dungeons and Dragons shit in the ground. Then you can put on some dubstep. My gnarliest dubstep song ever was someone made a remix of Magneto from the X-Men. I have it saved on an iPod, and that thing goes on for 10 minutes, and it's like whatever is in front of me is getting handled. Like, I don't know. Again, I can't listen to dubstep. So don't. Listen to, like, Sting. I got 80s on in the background for a reason, man. We're trying to come from our hearts here. Okay, so. All right, let's pull some cards. Let's have some fun. Oh, we have some big announcements. December 3rd, Saturday, December 3rd, at an undisclosed location right now. In Sedona, we're having a private heart activation, little mini, it's a one day only, little mini, it's not a conference, it's like we're going to have a little gathering Saturday, December 3rd. I will keep you guys posted. We will sell the tickets on our shopping cart. I'll let you guys know. It's limited seating. We have Miss Shauna Ava, Miss Barbara Hudak, and myself. And we are going to also be there with Miss Debbie. We're going to do some sound things. I think What's Sedona Vortex? Sacred Vortex. Listen, I'm not even, you know what? Sacred Vortex. We're going to the Sacred Vortex. We're going to activate some hearts. Okay. That'll be fun to see some of you guys do some activations in person. I am traveling soon. I'll let you know when I get there. It's not an activation. Calm down. Or maybe it is. No, it's not. It's not. We're going to have some fun. I want to move around. I want to interact with some large beings in the Pacific. I want to see what's going on. So I'm going to go have some fun out there with my brother. I'm going to get barreled. I'm going to get in the green room. I'm going to surf with some sea turtles. That's where I'm going. But before I do that, I again made another insane amount of light tools for you guys. I just want you guys to have everything you need in case I retire. This may be the last run. I'm going to be completely honest. It's been a hoot. Is that an original? He actually made that? Yeah, it's about to be like that. So, I love you. Let's pull some cards. And yes, Miss Cheryl, we're going to light up. We're doing things. And for healing centers in the future, yes, maybe if I pump the brakes on these things, but I still may do, I like to do the healing centers because whatever I create gets magnified by thousands and thousands of people that it assists. I like that. I also like to make stuff for you guys personally, but in the future, not right now, but just, yes, I would like to start making large things. I had a visual of one of the rooms at my City of Light that we shall manifest, right? But it was called The Room. And we were sitting in this dome, and the light inside it was like dark and blue, and there was all these like yoga chairs. You know, it was like little yoga seats that are going around in a circle. And in the center, there was a glass pylon, and inside of that, with like bronze and brass, like a column, it was plexiglass going up, or glass, and then a huge Tesla coil. And it was called The Room because all of the speakers in the room it was like there's like 30 speakers running 432, and then as it takes you, as the Tesla machine fires in the center of this huge torus field, like the whole shape of the actual, like you sit inside the dome at like ground level, but the torus structure actually goes into the ceiling and comes up underneath you. And it was called The Room because you sit there in a meditation pose, and it was basically like you could take someone in 3D and just, it's like a drug-free DMT trip. That Tesla coil fires, and it's just, there was something in me that was just, I was just sitting there in raw energy. And then like, 'cause I know when I turn my Tesla machine on, I can actually pay attention. I can hear it. Almost like you can hear like when your cat's hungry, meow, meow, like certain things mean certain things. When my Tesla machine fires, I can tell when someone enters the room. I can tell when it's like cooking a little turd that's not supposed to be in my environment. I can actually hear the frequency of the electricity as it interacts with the hologram. So, but there's something I will create called The Room, and maybe it'll change the name of it. But I saw us sitting there, and it was like, I mean, I don't know. It's like, imagine getting a download that takes you 6 months to pull down, and you have it in like 38 minutes. You're like, leave me alone. I need to go outside and write this down. Like bang, 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 bow. And they're like, I don't know how to make, I need to figure out if that's carbon fiber or a type of titanium. I need to go back in the room. And the guy goes back in the room and, just, okay, there's the visuals, there's a hologram, there's a blueprint. Because when you get downloads, especially about spacecraft or, new technologies, or when it's coming from different aspects of time. So our visual, it's hard for your brain to visualize something it's never seen in this reality or time. That's one of the hardest things about getting a download. Sometimes you're seeing tools or engineering feats that you have yet to see in this popsicle suit in this time. So it takes your brain, starts meshing the images together. So pay attention to that when you guys get, it could be dreams. There's been plenty of times where I'm in a room talking to a bunch of beings. I know they're not human, but they all have human little projections on to make me feel more comfortable. Okay, so they do that for your consciousness because they want you to remember, and your brain almost has a lock on it where it's very difficult for it to bring it down into the physical if you've never actually made that physical experience, right? I think that's what they've been doing with a lot of the movies like Avengers and, Guardians of the Galaxy, for example. That's just most recently. Star Trek, obviously, Star Wars, kind of, Lucas. But what I'm trying to get to is the original Lucas, not whatever Disney just ruin that whole thing. Even though I do like The Mandalorian. It's the only thing I got. I think I just love this guy. But what I'm saying is that your brain needs to filter an image for it to make sense in the physical so you can understand. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's pull some cards. Yeah, consciousness chamber. Yeah, so I'll make them. You know, then we put some, you know, we'll have a really fun time. Yeah, I'm remembering how to do stuff in like a different way. And like they put me in the room. They're like, do you like the way this feels? And they're like, can you make this? And I was like, I mean, I'm looking around. I'm like, is the whole thing a torus? They're like, yeah. I'm like, what are the walls made out of? How much magnetism is going through the walls? What I mean, are we affecting, is it 1G gravity? Is it half a G? Well, what's the gravity? Do we have gravity plates in here? Can we put gravity plates inside of a magnetic, you know, toroidal field? And I, you know, all of a sudden my other consciousness snaps in. It's almost like I'm a caveman back in time and I don't have the normal Home Depot that I'm used to shopping at. It's like my Home Depot is 1,000 years in the future. So I'm sitting here going, well, how do I Home Depot that? Bundle up some copper wire? I can buy some bundles of copper. I mean, they had this in 1800s. I mean, okay, bundles of copper wire. What else do I need? So what I'm saying is some of your downloads are from the future or from a higher density. So, because all time is relative based upon the dimension you are existing in, based upon the speed of the consciousness of the fellow inhabitants of that dimensional space. I'll put that on a bumper sticker. Okay, let's pull some cards. I love you. You know I ever wanted vacation time to get away. There may be some of us that are going to get picked up at some point. You guys might already have been experiencing it. You guys might actually, especially in your out of body. I'm spending a lot of time on ship. However this thing slices, however this piece of apple pie is sliced in this timeline, those of you ground crew guys, just pay attention to that. You may have contact sooner than you think. Okay, that's all I'm trying to say. Heads up out there. You know, I'm talking to these dudes. I'm like, so when is this going down? Let's make it happen, bro. All right. Bumper stickers, bro. You're like, how do you know you're not from this reality? You're like, how do I make moo metal again? Does anyone know how to make moo metal? I know Atlantean gold was a combination of gold, bronze, and copper. Did they electroplate copper? Was it the copper was just the inner plate, wasn't it? Electroplating. Very large things to electroplate. Didn't we have huge mirrors that would reflect the sun like a huge magnifying glass? Isn't that how I melted every day? I remember having like a smock on and like guns were blaring, had some flip-flops, had a dome, 3-tiered, had a huge disc from the sun at noon. I'd work from noon to 2 o'clock as the sun went by, smelted all the metals I needed. What happened to those things? Interesting. Because once you start playing with sunlight, you start to understand frequency and you start bending it, just like lasers. As soon as you start using the sun to melt metals, then you think to yourself, well, how many times can I refract this light and have the same output? So I could go 6 stories into the ground and bend light back and forth, and as long as the sun was up, I would have free light all the way downstairs, as long as I had nice prism mirrors, similar to what you guys saw in that Egyptian movie, The Mummy. Guy turns one thing and the whole room illuminates. There's things in technology zone I notice is they're pigeonholing us from playing with things, because once you start playing with things like how we used to do things, all of your information will start running back to you. Instead, they have people on this planet thinking that they're a big deal because they click and type on something that's outside of their normal creative space. They took away your tools and gave you new ones that they were masters of, already masters of, that they could manipulate. They took away your true tools. All right, that's enough. You're about to show your age. You're showing your age. Look, I'm very young inside this suit. I feel like I'm like 19, 20. But there's other versions of me that are very old. That are like, there's like 1,000 different ways to do that. Okay, unicorns. Let's do unicorns for this week. All right. This video is for you guys. I love you. I'm here to hang out with you. I'm going to focus the next 2 or 3 days and just get everything done. To my family for the Super 7s, yes. I'll put one more in the shopping cart. That's all I'm going to make. They're taking me about 3 weeks a pop. But what I can say is that those are ready. I literally wanted to show them today. They're insane. But I needed one more layer of glaze and polishing. And I'll show them next time I go live. Or I'll take pictures for you. If you guys want to see a picture of what one looks like. Let me see. I actually have a picture. There's a picture of a Super 7. And then here's actually what it looks like up in the air. So that's a Super 7. There's a Kesh engine inside of that. So that's a 7.6. The base is 7 feet 6 inches. It's actually 7.8 inches with the feet. It's a vertical 10-foot pole, and you know it sits about 12, 13 feet in the air. But that's a proper Nubian. All those poles are organited. I also have those for normal pyramids, but yeah, it's one of the guys. It's one of my guys. Devin. All right, let's pull some cards for this week. Card time. Let's get a banner. Card time. All right. We got some cards. You guys having fun out there? I feel like I've just been channeling the whole time. What do we got? What do we got? Yeah, they took away my toys, me and the tools. Yeah. You know? Yeah, that's mine. You're like, oh, yeah. Like, how's yours going? I'm like, I don't know. They're kind of large. I know size isn't like a thing, but if it was, I'm just kidding. You tell me. Does size matter? No, I'm just kidding. I always joke with my brother Jason, Eye Pyramids. I'm like, hey, look, I didn't say, you know, size though. Like, what is this? No, I'm just kidding. He has different tech. I love his tech. He uses the Rodin coil. It's pretty cool. He runs frequencies through it. I like the Kesh engine. I like plasma generators, personally. When she falls. All right, unicorns. I don't really want to talk about the elections. I mean, do you really want me to? Hold tight is what they're saying. Do not let whatever the mainstream tells you. There's already changes happening right now in real time behind the scenes. A version of that is, since the Senate was locked at 48-48, Maricopa County in Arizona, if we went red, then the Republicans would have not only the House, but the Senate as well. So it's a big deal, and that's why the sheriffs locked that place down on Tuesday in the voting polls. I don't know if you guys saw what happened in Maricopa County. 20% of the machines didn't work. It was a bunch of shenanigans. Like, they don't test these things before the day. Like, come on. So we all know that thing's coming apart. Omen. There's an omen coming next week. There's an omen. Is it the Euphrates? I don't know. But there's an omen coming up. Smooth operator. Hey, this is like when I call you. This should be my ringtone. Smooth operator. All right. All the kids born in the 90s and 2000s, they're like, what is this? This is like oldies. Listen, I'm not that old, but when they started like playing 80s on the oldies channel, I was like, first of all, absolutely not. Second of all, I'm age reversing every day. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. Second card, intensity. All right, well, it's telling you straight up for all those unicorns out there, there's an omen coming next week, and it's going to be, the intensity is increasing. Intensity. Okay, omen and intensity. So we knew during these times that this month is really going to pick up and start showing us things. It's happening right now. Okay. All right. Let's do us dragons. You want one more card? All right. I'm not going to say I feel like we're cheating, but I feel like with our own little group here, like we're kind of, not cheating, but to gold. We're not cheating. We're just in tune. Choice. Oh, these guys are making sentences. Dude, there's an intent. Okay, there's an omen of intensity, and there's a choice coming. So we literally talked about that. Choice. Okay? Let's put all these here. We're gonna do the sentences at the end of the reading. Okay? An intense omen, and there's a choice coming next week. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Not for sale. Eyes closed and dreams go free. No, I'm just kidding. Who sings it? Got an angel next to me. I don't know. Home Rose. No, it's actually the song was Wall Street Crash, and it was I forget. The song was called Wall Street Crash. I think it's called Stars. Operator. One of my friends was a producer of that song, and she gave me permission to use it. I actually shot the music video for them a long time ago, but not for that song. Okay, dragons. Transformation. Defining yourself. Okay. What are we doing right now on this video? What am I discussing? We are defining ourselves and our true nature. Okay. Our true nature is to be awesome. Okay. That's our true nature. Like, what's your true nature? I'm like, awesomeness. Lots of awesome sauce. Stuck in a little package. Just staring. You looking at me, I'm looking at you, kid. You know, it's a lot of awesome. You know. You can stay in that flow. You know, and I know there's a lot of Debbie Downers and negative people out there, but listen, you know, it's just people that were like you back in the day, man. I was the most, I mean, people, you know, they find me and they're like, oh, that can't be true. Let me tell you. I'm like, listen, bro, I was 1,000 times worse than you were. Born and raised in Southern California. Okay. I was the most cynical, sarcastic little turd you could ever imagine. So. For me to sit here and do this with you guys, it shows the growth I've had to Innerstanding and the lessons. I had to go to these sacred temples around the planet. I had to see it. I had to show up. I had to be there. I had to make moments. I had to meet, when my third eye came on, I had to meet these so-called galactic beings. I had to I had to understand what a planetary guardian was. You know, I could see the difference in size. I'm like, who are you really? You know, I had to make these moments real for myself so I could casually sit here and do this for you. Just to be clear, I was, you know, my planetary mission came first before this. To fly, I got wings. Rebirth, giving yourself a second chance. Rebirth, giving yourself a second chance. Okay? You guys, the dragons are telling you right now, look, transformation, defining yourself, right into rebirth. Giving yourself a second chance. That's awesome. Thank you. I need a... You know, okay, are you guys... Okay, I'll be even. They want another card for us dragons. Okay. I know I'm supposed to be fair. I'm like a referee down here. I'm like, all right. Which story are you from? I'm like, I don't think... I don't know. It's really old. I don't even think we were writing, but I don't know. It's a long time ago. I was the one that was like locked up and then like got out on good reprieve. Someone got me out. I don't know who. And you know, that's what's cool about, you know, choosing your heart and choosing my inner child. I am such an interesting being right now because when I go inner child mode, it's like, imagine being this huge, gnarly dude. And I'm like, I want a cookie. I want to be happy. Me go gym now. It's like Hulk. Like, me smash now. Can I smash them now? No. Go gym now. Eat cookie. Drink apple. Oh, okay. I want apple juice. Like little grays. You grab like 3 or 4 grays and you're hanging them. Like you're like playing with them like a little rattle. And you're like, you babysitter, why you watch me all day long? Don't you have thing better to do? Like, I'm just like, and I put him down. I mean, I don't know. I'm just this like dude, right? I don't know. I'm finding in my heart that I'm starting to love everything a little bit more than I did. And I'm not holding, listen guys, there's like 1,000 other species besides these little, you know, things we talk about all the time. But there's something inside of me where I'm losing my malice. And when I lost, and that was one of the things that got me in trouble in the beginning a long, long time ago. If you guys don't know this, back in the Angelic Wars or back whenever this was, the one thing you're not allowed to do is use malice. And I've told you guys this for the last 10 years. So I got in trouble a long time ago because some of my aspects use that night force to do things with malice. And that is a very different way to interact in a video game, and that does not belong in Creator's kingdom. I can say that truthfully. It does not. Malice does not belong on this planet. So, look how much you've grown. All right, and choice. Dude, am I on fire? Understanding the consequences. You choose, right? This whole experience is about choice, right? Well, understand your consequences if you choose wisely or you choose a polarity that you're not really about. Okay? I've been downstairs, ladies and gentlemen. I've crawled out twice. A lot of these guys playing these games, it's a lot more difficult to get out than you ever could imagine. Bush Sr. is going to be down there for 10,000 years. You know? Making someone a smoothie. I'm not kidding, but you know what I'm saying. Hey, you're from a lycanthrope, huh? Well, there's a whole pack of lichens down there. Have fun with that. Here, I'm gonna tie a bunny tail on you. All right, go get them, guys. Like I don't know. There's a lot of things running around down here. You know. Oh, but they can morph and change. And I'm sitting there going like, do you know what we really look like? This is the only thing protecting you from me. Moving on. All right. I feel like that guy, Watchmen. You know, I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me. And I don't even like babysitting. No, I'm just kidding. It's a lot of comedy right now, okay? It's comedy. It's a lot of comedy. Calm down. It's a lot of comedy. You know, you like wake up some of the old angels, and they're like, what are all these little things running around? You know, it's almost like you're like, what age is this? And like all these little humans are like, like driving around in like helicopter. You're like, what? Why are they so small? Like it's just like weird things go through your head. Like I don't know. It's just like, what is that? Hey, this one's dancing and has like maracas. You're like, I don't know. I'm enjoying watching this. They're so creative. You know, it's like you come from a different time. Like imagine being an Anunnaki or a Sumerian god and like getting off a ship and you're like, wait, before we do all this, do you see the amount of talent and creativity on this planet? I don't even want to touch it, right? There's a lot of really awesome things that we are. And when we get creative and we use our imaginations and we're imaginative, man, we're some of the most beautiful, powerful beings in the whole universe. Okay? And just why in the polarity game, both of these teams, the light side and the night side, right? They vie over you like you're an upcoming NBA player and there's two different teams vying for your soul or your energy or your focus. That's all it is. Some of these guys, they chose so cheaply. And the one thing I want to express to you, for everyone behind the scenes, do not sell yourself or get involved with beings so cheaply. These beings are making deals in Hollywood and so, you know, selling their focus or energy to beings that are creating money out of Babylonian money magic and just adding numbers to digital fake accounts that have no value. So you basically sold yourself for nothing. Just, and what? Some time in front of a camera and a couple photo shoots and 3 songs in the 90s and pay attention. All right. Don't sell yourself cheaply. No one likes cheap things. All right. In dreams. Dream time. Let's get it. Thank you. You're on fire. I'm like, I know. I feel it in my plums. I feel it down in my plums. Sorry. Is that appropriate? I am not really sure. but it's funny. Dreams. 40. We're going to have to look this up because there's no words on it. Dreams. Okay, it looks like there's an octopus. I don't know what's going on there. We're going to have to look up 40. What is dreams? Oh, grow and learn. Earth, material world. Evolve, learn something new. Take a master class. Have no fear of perfection. You'll never reach it. Salvador Dali. Hey, learn. What is integration? Okay. Dude, you guys try this out. Check this out. Imagine this is huge galactic war. It's been going on for 10, 20, 100,000 years, right? 200,000, 300,000, 558,000 years. Whatever. So, imagine we finally get to a place where we blended the DNA and the consciousness and put them in a human suit in a vessel, wipe their memories, and say who and what family are they going to choose. And all of a sudden, you have a kid, you have a daughter, you have a son, who wakes up, remembers their past lives, integrates their higher selves, is walking dimensionally between many worlds. And instead of having an internal struggle within who they really are and who they really serve and what they really want to do, and I can tell you something about the night side. I'm tired of being told what I can and cannot do. And on the light side, the patience and time to allow something new to be developed that may not agree with you 100% of the time. However, does understand universal law. So we're these galactic beings interacting down here in the physical to try to find the perfect mix, the perfect blend, the perfect balance. How do you create something that is supernatural, take all their powers away, but have the same processing unit that when you take them out of this place and then you give them back their abilities? What type of being are they going to be? Are they going to be a controlled little monetized puppet? Are they going to come from their heart? Are they still going to have beefs with different species from the past? What is an Anunnaki? Why were they created? I heard that they're supposed to be the most crazy god warrior class ever created. That was part of some sort of agreement between two very powerful powerhouse bloodlines. One being from the bloodline of the serpent, and the other one, from let's call it that the Archangel Michael bloodline, right? Lyran. Created these beings that were super strong. Some of the Lyran kings, just so we're clear, they reigned like 33,000 years. So I'm getting to, in a smaller form here with you guys, what are the small things that we have learned that has increased our awareness and experience to be able to truly lead and understand everything from the very small to the very big? The plants, the fauna, the animals, what do they need? Listening to the wind. Is the water clear? Is the water clean? What does the earth need? Being from Mother Gaia, it gives you a deeper perspective of all the things. Being in a spacecraft and flying, past a planet at, 15,000 miles an hour, looking, scanning the population through a dish. Are we going to land? I don't know. It looks kind of primitive down there. But getting from that place to actually understanding and wearing the shoes of the inhabitants and the positive qualities and the beliefs and their culture and what makes them special. And as you can see, Creator pulse through all of them in their own beautiful way. These are the things that our foremothers and forefathers hoped and prayed for would come in days of the future. That these beings would be grown, would be developed, and would go through the tests necessary to lead this galaxy, and if not, this entire universe. You are in training right now to lead this universe. You are going through the birthing and growing pains of having to actually experience that in the physical. And you are blended with many different dimensions, and they said a Swiss team already proved that the human brain is capable of processing 11 dimensions of reality simultaneously. So, as we're done with this little hodgepodge incarnation and the things we learned, some of these lessons and bloodline things that you are fixing and some of these karmic things that you are fixing, remember there is a greater purpose to all of this. Our time on this planet is limited. Try to make the most of it. All right. Let's do our Galactic Heritage cards. Trying to take us. Wild boys. Wild Boys in the 80s was like, we're going to drink and throw bottles. Now Wild Boys is like, it's like things are so innocent. They weren't innocent, but it's like, it's funny. It's like, we're hard in the 80s. It's like, just beat it. I'm like, you guys have no idea the pains and arrows we've gone through. We've gone through like weaponized bio attacks. Like, let's go. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, goodness gracious. Things on your pain. Like 80s bad was like, just beat it. There's zombies and werewolves. Just beat it. You know, those little weird Seitan tofus are running around, but you know, it wasn't like this. You know, little tofu. I want to season you and put you with some asparagus. Just looking at the guy like, I'm gonna eat you. No, I'm just kidding. I was just doing my job. I'm like, I don't know. You're annoying. You're like just a little annoying little Seitan tofu. All right. Earth, future, seeing the one. Well, if that ain't the truth, seeing the one future where we are free. Seeing all of us seeing the one future timeline that we're all on this ride together to attain. That peace, prosperity, the golden age. Okay? That one timeline, seeing the one. Okay? Hey! See the one! Yeah, baby! Yay! Yeah! All in! Let's go. Highest timeline for all. Yes. All right. Big what up to all my homies on Facebook watching live and Twitch and Twitter. Let's go, Musk. Hey, Musk. Let's go ahead and make my channel free. You know what I mean, bro? Listen. I know some guys at DARPA too. They owe me a couple favors. All right. Moving on. No, I'm just kidding. Best friends with Bob. You might know me. No, I'm just kidding. All right, and for our Galactic Heritage cards for this week coming up. All right, we have a lot of balance. Arcturus parallel. Balance. Okay, balance. So we're trying to find the one timeline. Okay, seeing the one. Okay. We're trying to find balance. What does that look like? Arcturus. Okay, balance. All right, one more for the Galactic Heritage because these cards are dense. It's a lot of information. What if they come to pick me up and I'm like, yeah, can you just drop my stuff off? They're like, don't you want to go back to Ganymede? And I'm like, meh. What, are you going to put me in a simulator so I can like experience Earth or actually be down? I mean, I don't know. Like I'm sitting here like, whoa. I don't know. Aren't you scared? I'm like, you think this is my first walk in the park, sweetheart? Do you think it's the first time I've experienced a physical incarnation? You think I'm scared to die on a battlefield? Is that what you think? It's not a big deal. You just go to bed. You can't tell me how many times I just got a cut, got sliced, and all of a sudden you just get a little sleepy. You get a little cold, and you just go to sleep. Can't tell you how many times I've bled out in a battlefield. Jesus. Always getting stuck in the back. Shot in the back, right here. Get him! You know, you're on a horseback, you're like Guan Yu dudes, and someone's just like, little crossbow is like, poo, poo, poo. God, crossbows were a pain in the butt back in the day. Poo, poo. Happens to all of us warriors out there. It's always getting stabbed in the back. All right. All right, survival fears. Okay. So I am going to bring this up now because this card just triggered it. Survival fears. Zeta Reticuli past. Okay. Survival. Have no survival fear. So here's the thing I was going to talk about last video and I did not. I'm in a much calmer place. There are two different tales. There are many different tales and stories. I shall tell you two different versions of this tale. The story. One version is that the Zeta Reticuli and some of the Greys, right? Zeta Reticuli is where some of these dudes come from, working for the Anunnaki, the Sumerian gods back in the day, had specific agreements to serve and work for, and were created, had a hand in creating. Some of the Zetas, or Greys, I should say, like almost like domestic Greys, that were used on this planet for quite some time. Usually the ones you find in the ground when that one guy who had a cobalt laser fight, what was his name? Was found in a hotel room with a rubber hose around his neck. Anyways, that guy. The firefight he got into. So listen. Very famous. He was one of the first whistleblowers that ever come out in the 90s. Oh, I can't remember his name. Anyways, back to the story. So the story is that when the Anunnaki gods and all these guys left Earth, they actually left these Greys here that were not able to replicate. And they thought that they would go extinct, and they did not have to hunt them down. They did not have the capabilities to actually replicate. Well, they didn't die. They found out a way how to clone themselves, and here we are. Again, this is one tale, one story, one version. Okay. Zeta Reticuli, imagine it is a city. They had citizens of that species that were utilized by the Anunnaki to serve here on Earth. Part of the Orion Empire stuff. So, the other story or tale that I've heard is that these are from our future. These are Zetas or Greys from our future who have jumped back in time to be here amongst us, to find that soul spark, to reclaim that organic nature and the ability to self-replicate without all the technology and actually come back into Creator's bosom. So, regardless of either of these tales, of which there are many, okay, I know how it feels to be left. Many of us, I know how it feels to be left behind. My pain or how I felt, though, I have reflections of this planet, but that's not really where it comes from. The pain of being left for me is very old, and it really came from when the ancient builder race left us. And when I see these reports of these asteroids they're finding with these crystal pyramids all over the place and no one's around, it's like a ghost town. And all of these things, all of these deeper, older memories flow through me. And I remember when the ancient builder race weren't ancient. I remember how they made the freeways. I remember how they made the freeways in the sense of like, that's why they can't replicate the old wormhole technology that connected this solar system to the rest of the galaxy. The beings now, the children left behind, do not have the capabilities to remake these gateways. They used science and technology to portal their ship through. You know, it could be independently or artificially, you know. But the old freeway system where there used to be travel and these wormholes, these freeways were ginormous for huge beings. So I resonate what it feels like when I'm expressing this to you is I remember and express what it feels like to be left behind. I believe our ancient builder race dudes actually graduated to a different universe or a higher existence entirely. They look down on us or in on us at times, yes. But when we in this galaxy, imagine thinking of a galaxy as a kindergarten or school. Imagine being that old. This kindergarten was created to be one of the greatest because it was the depository for all the DNA of this entire universe, let's just say. So it would make sense that this place in the Milky Way galaxy would be considered high school. Andromeda just got into college. Okay, they're not like that far ahead, to be completely honest with you. They just got into college. But for us in the Milky Way galaxy to remember the true potential of what is made from the greatest variations of difference, divergency, and to create something new, the amount of content and conflict at times to make and create something new with a new blend of ingredients. These ingredients being all the beings that are on this planet rotating around me, right? All of these different species and different layers and dimensions and consciousnesses and different homeworlds they come from and how they do things and how they interact and the technology they use, right? What I'm getting to is that it is our turn as one to become something great, then this is our opportunity for all time and space to accomplish that task. My name is Rion. It's been an absolute pleasure being with you guys here today. All right. Love and appreciate you guys. You guys have a beautiful week. Lots of things coming up, okay? And it's been an absolute pleasure being with you guys here today. All right. Have a blessed week. Peace.